Today I'm going to show you how to take a